Forum present, all commissioners except Warren Davis are present. Court and county deputy in attendance. All legal notices have been duly posted. Is there a motion to open court? So moved. Second. All those in favor? Available open court.
Please rise. Dallas County Commissioners Court is now in session for the March 2011 term with the Honorable Clay Lewis Jenkins presiding. Please remain standing for the invocation.
And our invocation will be given today by a guest of Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you, George, colleagues, everybody in the audience. I'm very honored today to present Boy Scouts Troop 1141. Troop 1141 is comprised of 12 boys ranging in ages from 11 to 17 years old. And they are led by Scoutmaster Timothy Mute today, this morning. William Coleman is the committee chair, and Quandre and Tangelo McCoy are committee members. They are from DeSoto, which happens to be in District 3, Commissioner's Prize District, but since today, they're in spring break. We decided to invite them. So, Troop 1141 is one of the oldest, most active troops in the DeSoto community, and we will be celebrating their 50-year anniversary this year. Each year, the members of the troop help host the annual Valentine's Day dance and First United Methodist Church in DeSoto. The troop tries to have a monthly outdoor activity, usually a camp out, at one of the nearby state parks or Boy Scouts camps, such as Camp Wisdom. The troop members use their knowledge learned in scouting to provide training for the younger Cub Scouts in Pack 126. One of the troop's favorite annual service projects is the Brazos River Cleanup, sponsored by the Friends of the Brazos near Green Coast, Texas. On this event, the Scouts canoe about 5 miles down the Brazos River, stopping on the many gravel bars to clean up the trash and tires. By coming today to our Commissioner's Court, the Scouts are completing their citizenship in the Community Merit Badge. One of the boys will provide us today with a prayer, and they remain standing as the troop will lead us in the pledge of allegiance. Thank you for being here, and we are honored to have Troop 1141.
Please bow your head for a word of prayer and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please bow your heads and remove all non-religious headgear. Dear God, thank you for getting everyone here safely today. Please bless them that they get to home or to their next destination safely, dear God. Please bless the people in Japan and Hawaii. Please bless it that if it did harm them, that it is not life-threatening, dear God. Please bless the county judge that he does a good job today, dear God. Thank you for doing everything that you've done for us. Please bless us that we do everything in your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Troop 1141 will also be touring our offices, Judge, and will be visiting 6-Star Museum, courtesy of the museum.
That's great. Well, thank y'all for coming today. Welcome to this meeting of the Dallas County Commissioners Court. We'll be considering items on our official agenda, then we'll recess for the court's informal work session, then we'll hear from registered speakers. The court will then convene in closed session to consider items as allowed by law. We have, let's see, there are 2 resolutions today, right?
Just I'm going to pull one and State Highway 183 for next week. We're going to open up the next week. And then Diana Whitman, is she here? I don't think she's supposed to be here today. I'm going to move its adoption. She has worked for Dallas County for 33 years. And she's retiring, so I'm going to go ahead and move it and then we send it to her later.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. We have one other resolution that I brought today. And that is a resolution to recognize Flood Safety Month. Whereas Dallas County's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, the Texas Division of Emergency Management, and Federal Emergency Management Agency, Region 6 Office have partnered together to resolve and be ready for the whole community, to ensure that Dallas County citizens are prepared for the future emergencies, and whereas each year brings the potential for bad weather in Texas, whereas a large portion of our state, including Dallas County, can be devastated by flooding, tornadoes, hailstorms, straight-line winds, and other severe emergencies, and whereas Governor Rick Perry has declared the week of March 14 through 18 as Flood Safety Awareness Week in Texas, now therefore be it resolved, the Dallas County Commissioners Court is hereby proclaimed March 14, 2011 as Flood Safety Awareness Week in Dallas County, and urges everyone in our community to learn more about and to participate in severe weather preparedness activities. Commissioners, I'd like to turn it over briefly if you'll move that. I'll second. Well, someone would like to speak to the motion, or speak to the resolution. So I'd like to turn it over briefly to Homeland Security Emergency Management Director Lisa Chambers to say a few words, and also to welcome National Weather Service meteorologist Bill Bunting here today.
Good morning, Judge, County Commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity today. I have a number of folks I'd like to introduce just for some brief remarks. I think as we've seen in the news this past Friday, on a global level, perhaps the biggest threat we face is severe weather. Particularly in our region, in North Texas, a risk is flooding and tornado threats. And we have a great partnership with National Weather Service. We have our chief meteorologist and warning meteorologist here with us this morning to say a few words about the Flood Safety Awareness Week.
Good morning. My name is Bill Bunting. I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service. Our office is in North Fort Worth, but we serve all of North Texas. As you noted, flooding is one of the primary threats that we face here in Dallas County. In fact, since 1990, 162 floods have killed 24 people, 8 times the number of deaths that we've seen from tornadoes. So while we face a number of severe weather threats, flood safety is paramount in importance to us, and anything that we can do to promote awareness and safety is beneficial. And I just wanted to say how much we appreciate the working relationship we have with Lisa Chambers and her staff at her office, and we look forward to working with her to keep Dallas County residents safe. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. I'm Mark Fox. I'm the warning coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service, also in Fort Worth. You read off some of the wonderful partnerships that we do have, both federal, local, county level, however, a lot of partnerships that we have. It also goes down to individuals. This is the time of year to start thinking about the time when the weather is going to be the big time story out there, much like the incidents over the weekend far away from us. But now is the time to start to plan, to prepare, and to act when the time does come around. And one of the things with floods, we usually do have a little bit of extra time to come through. But days like today, when it's beautiful outside, that's the time to prepare. And we do want to say thank you to Lisa and to yourselves for letting us come out and say a few words this morning. Sure.
Thank you, gentlemen. Also, I'd like to introduce Ms. Cheryl Sutterfield Jones and Mr. Lester Hunter from the American Red Cross Dallas chapter.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you. I think we didn't plan our speech, but I think it's about the same. The American Red Cross, of course, is not only international, national, but very local with what we do. Flooding is very important, the work of the Red Cross. We have a very strong relationship with the Japanese American Red Cross, as they have reached out and helped the American Red Cross during 9/11 and Katrina. We're very pleased to be able to reach out across the ocean to be able to provide support there as well. But I think the message today, again, is still preparedness, because we know that we will also have disasters here. We appreciate the work of the court. Working with Lisa has been a delight to ensure that we are prepared. So again, as the skies are blue, I think we have a consistent message. Today is the day that we need to be prepared individually and as a community. Thank you.
Also, Ms. Nobi Sawyer was here with them from American Red Cross. Finally, I'd like to introduce a very close friend of mine, Anna McFarland, who's the Executive Director of the Japan America Society of Dallas Fort Worth. I lived in Japan for 8 years and consider it a second home. I'd like for her to say a few words about a disaster relief fund that they've established.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. The City of Dallas and the City of Sendai, Japan have been international friendship cities since 1997 when Mayor Ron Kirk visited Sendai and signed a formal agreement with their mayor. We've enjoyed many cultural, educational, and sports exchanges over the years. Tragically, Sendai is the major city that was hardest hit by the recent earthquake and tsunami. The Japan America Society of Dallas-Fort Worth has established the Sendai Relief Fund to accept donations that will be used specifically for relief in Sendai. We encourage everyone to support Japan in this time of crisis however you can, and appreciate this opportunity to announce our fund. Thank you.
Thank you again for the support with this resolution. Again, preparedness is something that we have to think about every day, even as Cheryl said, when the skies are blue. So I really thank you for the support today, and we'll continue to work as hard as we can.
Thank you. And with that, I'll move for adoption. All those in favor?
Aye. Judge, I would also like all of us to a moment of silence for all our brothers and sisters in Japan who have been their prayer. And thank you, Ms. Chambers, for bringing this resolution, Judge, this morning.
Just have a moment for a full second. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
We'll now consider our consent agenda. Is there a motion on the consent agenda? Is there a second?
I will second it, but there are some items that we're going to remove.
That's right.
So Commissioner Price, if you
Well,
take-
on the consent agenda, I believe there were arguments being made on the consent, but I'm going to definitely, with regards to the Bird Bar invoice. We said that the judge said we'd bring it back. However, I know as late as Friday, there were individuals who were looking for the information with regards to their invoice. I think we have now furnished it, maybe as late as yesterday. I think we still need to pull that invoice unless you need to support and satisfy. I still won't support it. And so right now, I'm looking to pull the piece. Second and fine. If not, I still won't support it.
I'll second that as my understanding, although I have read it and I am comfortable with it from what I've read so far. I understand the DA would like to speak to us about this next week. And definitely to the DA one more week.
You move to.
To remove it from the
I
consent.
second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now the rest of the consent agenda, do I had a motion, but I don't think I had a second yet. Do I have a second on the
I have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of items 22, 24, 25, that are, that's not in the consent, okay. For individual consideration, I will be reviewing 22, 24, 25, and I will be moving for acceptance of the consent agenda.
If you got a motion, second consent agenda with the exception of the Bird Bar invoice, and then remove it. I think you got a motion on second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's it.
Item 9 is the first judge with the award of bids, and I would move that in regards to the one award of bids.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We'll now consider orders 10 through 46 and A1, with the exception of Dr. Garcia's asked that we vote for separate votes 22, 24, and 35.
Correct, Judge. I also, Judge, if I can have a moment of privilege before we start, I have in the audience 2 appointees that were appointed, or will be appointed this morning. One of them is Ms. Lourdes Espinola, which Ms. Espinola, could you please stand up? She's going to be appointed to the Dallas County Public Health Advisory Committee as my personal appointment, and I really appreciate her to be here this morning. And thank you for serving Dallas County. And also, I don't know if he made or not, Honorable Hector Flores, who will be serving at this, as my personal appointment as the Citizen Election Advisory Committee. So, Mr. Flores, if you're here, we thank you for your service as well. Thank you.
That being said, Judge, I move as court orders 10, including A1, 10-46, including A1, with the exceptions of 22, 24, and 35.
All those in favor? Sorry. On order 20, with regards to the public information officer, show me that you know with Will Rand on the budget and possible cuts. I just should have said $30 million. Okay. Then, all those in favor? We'll show you voting no on 20. Let's talk about, if anyone, if there's any discussion on the full orders. First one is 22.
I move court order 22.
Okay. There's second on 22. Okay. Any discussion?
Thank you. Colleagues, as I said last week, and I will say it again, in difficult budget times, I believe that car loan allowances are a convenience, a perk to executives and elected officials that I just cannot support right now. While it's not a huge amount in the overall scheme of things, when you look at everybody that gets a car allowance, it probably comes out about more than $277,000. And that could pay for several positions like PIO or several clerical positions that we need right now. So, colleagues, members of the audience, I will be voting no on court order 20.
Call the question.
All right. All those in favor? All right.
Opposed? No.
Court order number 24 is before us. I move court order 22.
Any discussion?
Yes, I reviewed this contract, and I do have to say that I feel strongly that we need to support local businesses, and this is a contract that is in a renewal position, and I understand that. However, there's no minority participation whatsoever in the contract, so I just cannot support it. With that being said, I do have to say that I've been working with Ms. Boyles with the purchasing department, and I like what we're doing now. We are not only gathering more statistical information about every single company that deals with Dallas County. I think that we're open to change some of the process, and I'm excited about that, Judge. But in this case, I will not be supporting this specific item.
Judge, 24. Yeah, 24. 24.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Central Ministries. On this one, I am going to support it. I'm sorry. I thought I was on 35. On 24, I definitely going to support it. I am delighted to see this item, Judge. They have done a fantastic job, and I'm really excited about this. And hopefully, we're going to find the funds to continue to support it.
Call the question.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now we're going to move to 35.
35. And this is the one about the batteries and the contract that I will not be supporting. I already said what I was going to say.
I'll move court order 35.
Second. All those in favor?
Opposed? No.
By the way, we've talked about this before. Some company, in terms of that whole battery, the value of this contract and the number of people, but basically where we purchase our batteries with regards to this contract.
It could be local, definitely.
Now we'll move to recessing for our briefing agenda of the commissioners. The court is now recessed for a briefing session of items to be considered in the subsequent session. Mr. Martin?
Board of Judge Commissioners, item number 1 on your briefing agenda, House and Human Services, 1A, that photo for reform agenda. 1B, recommend approval of award of reallocated fiscal year 2010 Ryan White Extension Act Part B formula funds to each in your briefing agenda. Item 1C, that photo for your forward agenda. Item 2, alternative dispute resolution, that item will be pulled, will be coming back next week by request of the court. Item 3, public works. 3A, recommend approval of primary consultant engineering and design contract for civil Consulting Group for the Middle Road project in an amount not to exceed $536,232. Item 3B, recommend approval of the easement encroachment agreement with Encore Electric Delivery Company for the Hunter Furrow Road MCID project. Item 4, County Administration, recommend approval of the non-exclusive lease agreement with UT Southwestern Medical Center, Transplant Center Services Center, and RTI Donor Services. In addition to the court's concurrence, staff recommends a formal solicitation process be conducted for this service. I don't know if Candace wanted to add anything to that, if the court had any questions on that item.
This is going to be the one where we maximize potential, revenue potential in regards to this particular issue. And I expect that Bear County can receive $200,000 with regards to their particular settings. There's no reason that Dallas County can't do every minimum like that. So that's what I can support.
We'll have a forum on next week for each of the leases, the non-exclusive leases, so that those will be available for the groups in the governments next month. So we'll see that, and then we'll begin working on it. The concurrence report will begin working on the solicitation.
Item 5, budget 5A, conference travel training request. Notice the travel item for Road and Bridge 1, only Chris Davis will be traveling. Commissioner Dickey will not be on that trip. Item 5B, hiring freeze session for the tax office and the public defender's office. Item 5C, recommend approval for submission of the grant application of the Criminal Justice Division, Office of the Governor, for the Mental Health and Urgent Court Residential Substance Abuse Treatment Service. And under equipment item number 1, that will be a 60-month lease as opposed to a 54-month lease. There's no that small change in that item. And that concludes the briefing agenda other than planning and development. Coming back at 1:30 for that discussion. And Judge, I also would like you to note that Commissioner Price is using an iPad and has his whole agenda on that. And we're hoping that the entire process and everyone at these tables will eventually be where Commissioner Price is soon. So we can get rid of this paper.
And we will be environmentally compatible.
We will be
Right now, I'm in the suspender belt mode.
He's got both.
It's okay. When are we getting
We actually have the RFPs for the agenda management are in for review, and now we'll be coming forward. Probably meeting as evaluation team by the week, and then we'll be making recommendations.
And I understand you also through some other counties, to check how it's working with other elected officials.
Your loan staff does not belong to the county. It's down there, it does not belong to the county. So just in case we're talking about budget,
Great for the clarification.
I think once we do purchase them, though, and get rid of these books, the savings will pay for themselves, just like not doing all of these copies that we have to make.
With you all the way.
And with that agenda, conclude the briefing agenda. You have a number of speakers listed.
all right. Before I call our first speaker, please read our code of conduct, full rules.
All Commissioners Court attendees are hereby advised that this meeting is conducted in accordance with the provisions of the Dallas County Code, Section 74-71. Visitors and registered speakers are to preserve order and decorum at all times. Personal, profane, or slanderous remarks are not appropriate and will not be allowed at any time during this public meeting. Any and all applause is to be kept brief in observance of time constraints. Disruptive visitors and/or registered speakers may be removed and are subject to the penalties provided by the State of Texas Penal Code, Sections 38.13, 42.01, and 42.05. Registered individual speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes, and the maximum discussion on any one topic is limited to 30 minutes.
Thank you, Bailiff. First speaker today is Mr. Joe Gordon. Mr. Gordon, could you come forward and state your name for the record, please? Oh, I'm sorry. Lord, I missed that one. Sorry.
I'm not Joe Gordon, but Joe worked with me, and it's basically my deal.
Who are you, sir?
My name is David Albert.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine, you're on there as well, Mr. Albert. Please, state your name for the record and your address.
David Albert, 6510 LBJ Freeway. The last time I appeared before a council like this was the city of Dallas vying to get an ordinance for against smoking. You see, and Dr. Richburg, Betty Moore, and myself got the first ordinance in the city of Dallas against smoking, which I'm real proud of. Anyway, what I'm here for today is it's kind of a business deal, and what I've placed before you is a survey of the land around the Rock Island Railroad. And what I'm trying to do is get a billboard sign right there along that railroad. And the city of Irving has no objection. And the city of Grand Prairie said they would like to see this sign built. And of course, I was trying to get it for the property that Grand Prairie owns, which is the Lone Star Park, their theater, the Verizon Theater, and that ballpark. And I presented to you some of the correspondence that I've received regarding their opinion about the building of that sign. The city limits of Grand Prairie and the city limits of Irving kind of stop, and there's a little no man's land there, and it's the county. And the TRE, which is the Trinity Rapid Transit Service, said that they would like for me to get approval of the county before we go forward with it. But they would also like to even be my partners in the sign. So basically, that's it. If you have any questions, I'd like to answer them for you.
Judge, first of all, is this county land?
Yeah, oddly enough, it's a very small sliver of land that is unincorporated.
Yeah, but is it county land?
Yes, it is county land.
Okay. If the county owns it, then we've got some Ms. Backus.
Public Works is doing some research on this. It seems that TxDOT, NDTA, and TRE may all have an interest in this. So we are doing some research and we'll have a report later.
Okay, so we don't even know. That's number one. Number two, if we do own it or own any portion of it, and if it's all public, then we have some obligations with regards to purchasing. I mean, we can't just say, this gentleman, Mr. Crowley?
No, David Albert.
Okay. Well, we can't. We'd have to put that. We would. Yeah, we'd have to put it up for bid or sell it. However, we just can't sell it to you. So first of all,
the land belongs to the railroad.
Yeah, I think that's what.
It is TRE land.
It's part of the old Rock Island Railroad. It's just a small sliver that's unincorporated, and neither city has any objection to the sign.
It is in the Rock Island restricted right of way. It is pretty complicated, so we're doing some research.
Okay. Well, until we get all of the legalese and what our standing is with regards to it, I guess the district attorney's office is also going to be there.
We'll need to see sign ordinances for Irving and Dallas also. Right. So you need to look at that.
And also, Mr. Albert, these requirements that you gave us here, that you have to get an agreement with TxDOT and NTTA, as well as City of Grand Prairie and Dallas County. Did DART give you these guidelines?
I'm making an application with the highway department, and everything falls within their parameters.
Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, and Lori Wilson, please.
While Ms. Wilson's coming, Ms. Pappas, when do you think that you'll have something in front of you with regards before the end of the week?
I will be brief about that.
Yeah, Ms. Wilson, if you could just state your name and your address.
Of course, my name is Lori Wilson, and 2777 North Simmons Freeway. I'm just here to say thank you. I'm with Children's Medical Center and the Children's Medical Center Holiday Parade, and I'd like to thank a few individuals. It's Wendy Aviles, Carol Johnson, Sandra Garcia, and Ella Daniels, and any other individuals that are present in helping making our 2010 parade a huge success. The court was really gracious, and they let us use our building the morning after parade staging, which is huge since we don't have a whole lot of room on the street. And these mentioned staff members arrived at the court building at 5:30 a.m. this past December on the 4th to prepare and meet our drill team girls. There were over 1,000 giggling, excited drill team girls, and Jeff Giles, who is our coordinator for that, noted that the security guards were extremely helpful this year. They even offered to help load out so we could meet his schedule. And we also got to use the dock and the both upper and lower jury rooms, which became really critical areas in staging for both Jeff Giles and Corporate Magic, which handles our media and our creative. These groups and their equipment were able to stay warm, secure, dry, and they were contained and accessible thanks to the generosity of the facilities manager, Ella Daniels, and her recruited volunteer staff. So thank you for giving us your time, your great attitude, your hard work, and overall, thank you for helping us fulfill our mission and making life better for children. We appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Next speaker is Mr. Leslie Allen Davis. Yes?
No, it's
Mr. Okay.
Leslie Allen Davis, 3035 East and Better Fall Forward. Today I'm talking about Mr. Previous City Council. I'm getting to have the City Council. What we should do is try to, Jesus said love your enemy, that's one. Number two is just love, got to learn to work together. Honey. We all need to work together. We all need to together. We need to work together as a group, as a team. And I'm speaking of killing babies while they're in a woman's stomach. We shouldn't have divorce in Dallas in Texas, Texas. There's enough room in Texas. Take out enough space, enough food, enough land, enough everything. Take care of these kids. And let's see. Love. One of the things said in one of the speeches said, "Love will perish." You should love him. Another one of the things said, "Love will perish." And let's see. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Y'all let's work together.
Thank you. All right. Our next public speaker will be Mr. Chuck Henning. Mr. Henning.
My name is Chuck Henning, 93 Tennessee County Road in Dallas. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I have two comments to make. During the election cycle, a frequently heard expression was the need to recognize the importance of elections from the county courthouse to the White House. I strongly concur in that thought and indeed understand it better after attending these court sessions for the past month. My first comment concerns budgets and reflects a strong wave of reaction from the grassroots all over the nation. As a small businessman at the lowest level of the economic ladder, I am way too familiar with the vital need to keep up with money coming and going. I have experienced too many irons in the fire, only to wake up one day to realize the obligations had gotten out of balance. Immediately, the gut-wrenching mode of correction goes into play and lasts a painfully long time until the house is brought back into order. There is no other way out, and your political orientation has nothing to do with it. Money is money, plus is plus, and minus is minus. That is true here. I see here, and up the ladder of every rung of government, an extreme unwillingness to face the music and cut. It must be cut. Budgets from the courthouse to the White House are so bloated they are like a bowling ball on top of a carton of eggs. These huge budgets stifle the private sector, which has to pay for them. The real cruncher here is that governments somehow see their own payrolls as too sacred to cut. What about those thousands of private jobs so often mentioned in the news? Those people are not suffering. Cut the budgets, free up the private sector to do that tremendous entrepreneurial magic. Comment number 2. You honor here people who retire after years of faithful service to the county. Honor well deserved. However, there is one man you cannot honor because you forced him out ahead of his time. I was trained by him during many sessions over the past 12 years. I did not have to be told. I saw the single most dedicated and effective man in my experience with government over the years in several states. I was privileged to join 175 others recently in a luncheon to honor him, with many speakers going up in rank from both local parties to state legislator, testifying in front of his family the unwavering commitment he had to protecting the sacred privilege to vote in this county. All of us in this room should live our lives in such a way that one day we could hear that statement. We lived well and did not compromise our responsibility. In this county, we will fight to keep the integrity of the vote. Thank you.
My name is Deb Diesel, 3608 Southwestern Boulevard, Dallas, Texas. I was here last month sharing my heart with you about my distress at seeing what is happening in our county government. Judge Jenkins, seeing the bitter partisanship that is controlling our government on the national level, I'm horrified to see that the same thing appears to be happening right here in my own county. Judge Jenkins, I would like to be specific. A month ago, a well-known and respected elections administrator had to resign, and many in our county no longer feel that they will have their elections. The secret meeting was held to vote for his replacement. The agenda of that meeting was even kept secret. Accounts of that meeting gave us the same mixed messages that we hear coming from Washington, D.C. The chairman of that secret meeting said that he didn't want to discuss it because he didn't want to influence the vote at the meeting. And then Judge Jenkins, then it was said that it wasn't about the vote, but about a performance review of that administrator. Judge Jenkins, after that, I started attending Commissioners Court meetings, and I heard you all talk about transparency. But many of the actions I've seen by this court do not match that rhetoric. I hear about budget shortfalls and the millions of dollars, but see a new high-level position being created to insulate the court from the press and from we the public. Judge Jenkins, I watched you vote on a code of conduct for commissioners only after a horrible tirade embarrassing us all in the national media. I would like to close with some words from a very wise man. King Solomon in Proverbs states there's 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him. And I would like it better if at least more than one of you would look at me when I'm addressing you out of respect. Number 1, haughty eyes. Number 2, a lying tongue. Number 3, hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked schemes. Feet that are quick to rush into evil. A false witness who pours out lies. And a person who stirs up conflict in the community. As a citizen and taxpayer, I urge you to practice honesty and humility. But those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. I can't believe that y'all have been shuffling papers and signing documents when I have come up here to speak and others like us. I think that is the height of disrespect.
Our next speaker is Mr. Jeff Turner.
950 Berkshire Lane, Dallas. Reading the agenda for today, I got the vague sense I am in the Shire of Nottingham, where the good and decent people live in fear of those who rule over them. Except, instead of the sheriff in the old Robin Hood tale, this court plays the role of antagonist. Just as the sheriff of Nottingham took from those who produced the goods and services in the Shire for the benefit of himself and his friends, so we see this court with order number 22, authorizing an excessive auto allowance for the Human Resource Civil Service grant. Is this court serious? $632 a month? This weekend, I saw a television ad for a Mercedes-Benz C-Series with monthly payments in the mid-$300. Essentially, you are telling this employee, whose competence and dedication to the county I have no reason to doubt, to go out and get herself a fully loaded Lexus. What a bonus that one can get it these days. How many unemployed Dallas County citizens struggle just to pay their county property tax? Moreover, your fiscal year budget already is over $7 million in deficit. No county employee, no matter how good and dedicated, should get such an excessive auto allowance during the fiscal crisis in which this county finds itself. Just as the sheriff of Nottingham schemed against the beloved King Richard to prevent his successful return to England, so we see this court with order number 25, quickly moving forward on a no-bid contract for $250,000 to the law office of J. Gerald Hebert, who certainly is no nonpartisan attorney, having served as the general counsel for Impact 2000, the national redistricting project for congressional Democrats. No one can doubt that the bargain struck with Mr. Hebert is for him to gerrymander the Commissioners Court's boundary lines to ensure one-party rule in this shire. But the 2008 and 2010 elections prove that gerrymandering is not necessary. Moreover, is spending $250,000 for this purpose really the best use of scarce county resources when our tax dollars already seem to be going down what apparently we are only permitted to call a multicolored hole? While there may be no Robin Hood who can thwart and vex this court's plans and schemes against the good people of Dallas County, yet, unlike the citizens of Nottinghamshire, the good people of Dallas can escape. And the 2010 census shows that many have done just that, taking with them their tax dollars and their entrepreneurial spirit, the surrounding shires. And more will escape unless this court stops its political silliness and internal purges and instead tackles the deficit as real leaders would.
Time's up. Thank you. Point of order on a couple of things. As far as Mr. Hebert, I think, is one of the redistricting lawyers. I note that all 5 commissioners selected the same people to do that. And secondly, I also want to note, just for purposes of clarification, that contract with a maximum of $250,000 caps their fee at the same amount that the firm we used 10 years ago got. So there's been no inflation in what they're charging. So that being said, I want to make sure that people understand that because a lot of those decisions are made in closed session. Our next speaker is Ms. Cecile Newberry Fernandez. Ms. Fernandez.
I think she had a funeral in the family to attend.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Our next speaker is Mr. James Michael Porter.
James Michael Porter, 5407 Big Canyon Drive, Garland, Texas. Good morning, Commissioners. You're all in my prayers. First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or press or the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Certain parties cannot allow First Amendment rights to be exercised by the opposition and go unchallenged. They have no chance to win and protect their stranglehold on America if fair elections are allowed and their true agenda revealed. It would be disastrous if just one of their constituents ever realized the extent of which they are being lied to, manipulated, and oppressed by the very leaders who claim to be their savior.
Sir, I'm going to warn you that sounds like a personal attack on members of the court, and so you can't do that. You can be a little bit more global in your comments.
This is global. This is not a personal attack. Just let me finish.
Please go ahead, sir, but if you violate our rules, you'll have to have you sit down. So I don't want to do that. Please go ahead.
I don't want you to do it either, but this is my First Amendment right to make, present these grievances.
Sir, go ahead.
Limited government, individual responsibility along with fair and open elections must be avoided at all costs. So when someone dares to speak up for fair elections and against socialist policies, they are labeled a middle class, Bible-claiming, gun-toting, racist teabagger. However, politicians and their comrades are constantly cite rampant racism where there is opposition to their policies are defended by the media. Hatred, class warfare, and race baiting under the guise of First Amendment rights are constantly used to further their agenda as community agitators. Such actions, regardless of the instigator's affiliation, are detestable. I'm amazed as I witnessed the freedom of speech displayed in this court recently when without consequence white people were told to go to hell. But later when citizens protected...
That's it, sir. You can go sit down. Sit down, please.
That is not...
Take him out, please. Well, I think that's it for our speakers. We will now go into closed session. Any matter discussed in closed session, if the parties vote, we voted on in open session. Thank you all for your attendance today.